What's up, babes? Welcome back. Now, I do want to say I am a little bit under the weather, so if for any reason I sound a little snotty, you know why. Anyway, today's video is in collaboration with Mega Look, which I have been working with them a lot more recently. You guys can see there are quite a few goodies that will come inside of your packaging. There isn't a box, there is just a satin bag that the 26-inch body wave unit came in, and of course this is a 13x4 unit. Now typically I'm a fan of the 13x6, but I wanted to give it a chance. I could already see the hairline. Of course, had not had any previous plucking. I don't see any like bleach knots or anything like that. So this is a true fresh unit if you are looking for something that is affordable, that you don't mind adding a little bit more to, then I would definitely say this would be a product that you would want to try. I did notice that they had these new caps which were a little bit more breathable than some of the dome caps I'm used to seeing. There weren't any like combs or clips or adjustable bands on the inside, but they did have a space for you to slide an adjustable band inside. So I knew that the first thing I wanted to do was to go ahead and bleach the knot. So of course this is going to be a super detailed video, so if you have not already, get you a snack, girl, because this is just for you. All right, now we're going to start off with our bleaching powder, which of course everything will be listed down below. I have everything linked in my Amazon store, along with any other links or necessary tools that you guys will need. Definitely make sure to check out the description box. Now, if you guys are new here and have never seen me bleach hair before, I do a 2-to-1 ratio. So 2 scoops of bleaching powder to 1 scoop of 30 volume developer. And I typically like to use a liquid developer just because the cream can be a little tricky when it comes to blending it if this is your first time. The consistency that we're going for is that thick potato salad, okay? I don't mean to make y'all hungry, but I mean, I'm just saying, you want to make sure that that brush is thick. You definitely want to make sure that everything is well blended, creamy, so that you don't have any like spots in your bleach or areas that are not moist. But I always recommend that you go in with you don't have to use your kitchen knife or anything but definitely a smooth surface just to be able to evenly spread the product all over the cap. So I like to start in the middle just because 9 times out of 10 I'm going to be wearing this in a middle part, sometimes a side part, which is fine. So we're eventually going to cover all areas, but you definitely want to make sure that you just lightly spread it across. You are not digging into the lace. You are not forcing this product so heavy and lathering it on so thick that it ends up bleaching the actual hair. So you want to be careful. And I know that it can appear that I'm a bit heavy-handed because I think I kind of am. But do not allow that to, get in the way of the process. You definitely want to make sure that you are taking your time, slowly spread it. A little truly goes a long way. And then what I like to do is once I get up to that hairline area, you can actually point out that demarcation line of where the hair stops. You constantly want to be checking that. I'm going to kind of point it out now just so that you guys can see. As I smoothed it up, you guys can literally see that mark where the knots are, where the beginning of that lace and where the hair actually has been placed. That is where you want to stop. You do not want to carry this all the way up just because there's no hair, and of course we are here to bleach the knots. Then I always like to turn it inside out just to really make sure that I have no extra bleach anywhere possible that's going to cause this to just be compromised. Now you can choose whatever shampoo and conditioner you decide. I am just using stuff that I don't actually ever use anymore. So the Aussie Moist conditioner has been my go-to for years when it comes to my wigs. And then of course I just use a shampoo from a company that I used a minute ago. So that is neither here nor there. You definitely know you did it right when you go to wash the hair, and of course the inside of the cap will appear to be a little bit more on that yellowish blonde side. That's just because the knots have fully been bleached. Now if you are doing this with a 30 volume developer and the products that I showed, you are only going to want to let this sit for about 30 to max 40 minutes. Nothing more, nothing less, because you want to make sure that the hair has time to get rid of any of that brown brown brassiness, and so that it can truly turn out to be this nice blonde color without having overly bleached knots. You don't want the hair to start falling out, none of that shedding, and you guys can see we did a beautiful job just in one pass. So if you do have a situation where you do have a little bit of over bleached knots, you can absolutely go through with some permanent hair color and just literally touch those areas up. Sometimes I would even do it with like a rinse, which I find kind of fades over time. Obviously it's just a temporary color, but you do have options. So I do have other videos in the past showing you how to just clean those up, but let me know down below if that's something you're needing to see because you have actually over bleached knots. Now when it comes to the conditioner and the shampoo, I like to shampoo twice, and then I like to condition for quite a bit of time. You guys can see I am heavy-handed with that conditioner because I really want to make sure that the hair is soft and has really the best possibility, you know, when it's time to install it. I don't want to find myself in a situation where I'm having a bunch of residue and like the sticky buildup feeling, and I don't want the hair to be dry at all. So I will spend about 10 minutes truly just rinsing everything out. I mean, I am standing there for a moment, like to really make sure that all of this conditioner has fully left the hair. There's no shampoo residue left over, nothing. I want the water to be clear. I don't want any of those bubbles in there. I'm even going to do this with the cap because sometimes the conditioner will sit inside of the cap. So when you go to blow dry or air dries, it gets a little weird and you'll have that film on the hair. So of course, like I said, this is super detailed. So if you are a beginner, I believe that this may be the perfect video to kind of get you along the way, especially if you are getting you a more affordable unit. You want your knots to be as bleached, pretty, and clean as this, especially if you're going to be doing it at home. Now, obviously, if you take this to a stylist, this is what you want, okay? So definitely make sure that you guys are getting the bang for your buck. Now, I did go ahead and measure out my hairline, which is about 11.5 inches across. If this is a 13x4, that means that the hair on the sides will need to be cut. Now, I do have, again, another detailed video showing you how to do that inside of like other wig videos. But if that's something that you need to know specifically, let me know so that I can create that video especially for you. And so, yeah, I don't really have too much trouble doing that. I'll just part off the hair on the side, cut it off with the scissors, and then comb out any additional hair that doesn't belong. So expect a little bit of shedding just because obviously you did kind of cut off those two sides where the lace is. And as long as that cut is clean, you should not have to worry about any like sparse hairs or making that mistake of like giving yourself a haircut. Now, I did actually go ahead and put this on my mannequin head. I do want to actually blow dry this out myself. If you guys don't know, my hooded dryer actually recently went out, so I'm gonna have to go and get another one, but that's okay. So yeah, so for now, all that I'm going to do is get into the plucking. Now, I'm keeping this video pretty calm and chill. I know typically I'm like super high energy, but I really want you guys to be able to get every single detail without feeling like it's rushed and all that. So if you need to play this back a couple times, feel free to do it. I decided to put a towel, a white towel, just so that you guys can better see what's going on. My mannequin head is more on the beige side, and I just really wanted you guys to focus on the hair. So all that I did was a section out about 2.5 inches away from the hairline and pull that back into a ponytail. And then you guys can see now I'm literally gonna go row by row, probably taking about less than 25% of hair out. Not even that. I don't even know where I just got that from, y'all. I'm literally only taking out maybe a half an inch of hair each time that I go through. I'm taking my tweezers and I'm literally just plucking in a downward motion, making sure not to go over the same spot more than twice, because what you'll end up doing is causing like that balding. Now for me, I'm taking this plucking to the extreme. If you guys are wanting more of a lighter pluck, you want the hairline to be a lot fuller, then definitely make sure to just focus the tweezer towards the front, stay away from like that back area, still make sure to kind of blend it through, but really take your time. This is like true art. I mean, to be completely honest, you can literally customize this in whatever way you decide. If it is, a situation where you may want to mimic your natural hairline and you naturally have a thinner hairline, then definitely take out a little bit more hair in areas like your temples where the hair is a little bit more sparse, and so on and so forth. So you guys, I try not to worry about pulling out all of the hair that I have plucked out at once. I will do that just at the end, so that I can just focus on the plucking, so you guys can really see I'm just literally going section by section downward, not staying in any area for too much time. And of course, as I get, like I said, to the front, I'm definitely making sure to be a little bit more cautious because I don't want it to be bald. I just really want this to mimic a natural hairline, which is a little bit thinner in the front, and then of course the hair gets fuller towards the back. Now, as we get closer up to where that middle part is, I try to be a little bit more careful just because I tend to over pluck this area all the time. And you can even see here where it's like, if you imagined really damp, naturally straight hair, typically it's going to have that kind of like soft look and texture. Keep in mind, when all of this is blow dried out, it's going to look a lot fuller than even what it looks now. So trust the process. Try not to be too heavy-handed in that middle part area towards the crown. You definitely want to keep it nice and full. And then of course, once you're happy with everything, go ahead and comb it out. I did get a good bit of hair out, but you guys can see it did not compromise this at all. Now you do have the choice to stop here. If you guys do not want to do the baby hair look, you don't have to. Don't feel, pressured to do that. If you want every strand to be nice, long, and luscious, I recommend doing that, okay? But I'm going to show you how to take it up a notch, just to really make this look even more realistic. A lot of times we naturally have shorter hairs in the front of our, hairline, so don't feel weird about it. You don't actually have to use the baby hair, but I do find that it's helpful with just making everything flow a little bit better, especially when you go to style it. So you guys can see when I said 25% now, I think I understand what I meant. I was really truly thinking about like 1/4 of an inch, which I'm sorry to be so technical. That's how my brain works sometimes. But yeah, so I technically took about 1/4 of an inch of hair out. I don't know why I can't think of another way to say that. Y'all correct me, help me out. But anyway, so I took that hair out just to give room for the baby hair and to, further look at what that hairline looks like in the event that I decided that I would want to use the baby hair in the future. So y'all know I typically will keep my wigs for years on end because I'm one of those girls that's going to wear it for maybe 2 to 3 days and then take it off. So I really get the max wear out of it. But if this is something you're going to want to wear long term, then I definitely recommend you do this and take the time to really style it up the way that you would like. That way, each time that you wear it, you're not having to go out and, redo all of this. So I did decide to take out a little bit of hair in the area that would kind of cover, I guess, near my ear, right? So just that little swoop of hair that we all like to have out. I did go ahead with the tweezers just to thin out a little bit of the hair in the front. Nothing, again, we don't want to make it bald, so don't stay in one area for too long, just to thin it out even more. And I was super happy with the way that it looked. Doing this on a white towel, a mannequin, something that is not gonna, be close to the color of the hair is definitely gonna give you that true feel. If you are doing this on dry hair, I believe that sometimes it could be even easier to really see exactly what you're taking out, how you're doing it, and so it's totally up to you. I am I am a lot more experienced when it comes to the wigs, been doing this for years, so I'm aware of like, hey, this is what it looks like wet, happy with that, just in case I decide to do like any sleek backs with some mousse. Obviously it's going to have more of that wet look, so I'm okay with what that looks like, and then when I go to dry it, we're all good. Now, when it comes to using the razor comb, you want to be careful. You want to take off a little bit less than what you may realistically wear. So I did go ahead and take out maybe about 2 inches of baby hair. So that's all that I left there, just in the event that when I go to try it on, I realize like, okay, yeah, these are a little bit long. I can cut them shorter if I want to, versus cutting them shorter now and then realizing I can't go back. Now, the Cream of Nature mousse has been a staple. I still have no clue why I have not collaborated with them on a larger scale, because I feel like I've been using their products for so long. Of course, I do have links to everything that I'm using down in my description box in my Amazon store, but this is my go-to. Literally, if I was to create a mousse, I would mimic it from the Cream of Nature one. Truly, just because it's super lightweight, it gives that shine without getting super tacky, doesn't make the hair feel crunchy. So obviously you guys can use whatever you feel. I know that there are mousses out there that have that like tint. I don't recommend using those. I don't really, have a preference to it, but hey, tomato, you get to decide. For me, I just prefer for all of that color work to be done beforehand. And if you decide to do anything to the lace, I would say take some foundation, which I'll show you a little bit later on how to do that. And you guys can see the before and the after. Obviously, you get the chance to decide how much hair you want to take out versus what I did. But this is a great guide just to kind of get you a longer way. Now, I don't ever believe that a hairstyle is truly complete until we've added some shape. Now, I am just a fan of that nice soft layered look, so I did go ahead and add some face framing layers just in the front, and I just do that by parting the hair out, which would essentially be like a little bit behind the ear. I take out that section and then just focus on the front, and I go in a diagonal motion all the way down until I am reaching the very end of the hair. So I keep that going, and y'all don't mind me in the corner, okay? But yeah, so I am just dragging that tool all the way down, and I decided I wanted to do a soft layer all throughout. So in order to do this, I did need a guide, so I just found the longest length of hair, and then you guys will see I'll kind of pull all that up to meet its own. And so of course we have a nice base going all the way around the head. I haven't done anything to the bottom because I'll pretty much trim that off a little bit later on in the video when I actually install this on myself. And yeah, so I'm just pulling the hair straight out. I'm literally going to find the piece to be my guide for how long I want each layer to start. And then of course I'll follow that diagonally all the way down. So essentially I'm creating soft layers without having to do this on like dry hair. You can definitely do it on wet hair. Just make sure that your razor comb is fresh and sharp. Now this is a hack in case y'all are wondering my film setup. I literally just have a backlight sitting right against the wall, and then of course I have my camera set up, and yeah, I have a light directly over my camera. So that's how I get these super high quality videos. I think it's a little overexposed right here, but hey, I had to make sure y'all can see. And so I made sure to do this all the way around the head without creating overly choppy layers. Now, the one thing you don't want to do is try to trim this while it's still in that like wavy body loose wave state. You want to make sure that it's pulled out straight. So like I said, I'm going to wait to do that once I have actually styled the hair, got it blow dried out, and pretty much have put it on my head. So I'm just taking my Pattern Beauty blow dryer to quickly go through. And of course, I'm using one of the nozzles, which is more like a brush. So if you don't have that, you can absolutely just take a paddle brush along with the blow dryer and just kind of follow it out. If you guys really need to see that broken down, feel free to go through any of my videos where you see me like doing a straightening video with my natural hair. You'll kind of see what I mean. Before I had the Pattern Beauty blow dryer, that is what I was doing. I was using a thermal brush, which is linked in my Amazon store, and I was just following the strands of hair with the brush and the blow dryer to pull everything as straight as possible. So it took me about 20 minutes to get the hair bone straight. You guys can see it is super soft. The luster is there. And just because I am familiar with different textures and types of hair, I do know that this is definitely a quality that can last you for a while, but you want to make sure that you are properly caring for it, because this is not like the highest possible quality of virgin hair you can get. So full transparency, anytime you are getting a unit that is a little bit more on the affordable side, for the most part, these are textures that have been processed, which is not a problem at all. I am all for the units that give you the bang for your buck. I'm here to show you how to save a lot of money from going to a stylist. So y'all, Okay, the girl got you. I got you. Don't even worry. Now, once everything is completely dried, I just go through with the hot comb to really get close up on it, okay? If you need to go through section by section, feel free to do that. You can literally split the hair, go through with the hot comb piece by piece to get everything super flat, laid down the way you want to. The mousse is going to help you out with that a lot. Now, if you guys are wondering, like, Chrissy, why did you put the elastic band on the wig? It was just so that I don't have to worry about tugging and pulling on the hair even more than what I was already doing, to prevent the lace from like being, you know, snagged and broken. Sometimes that has happened just with me, like pulling the hair as I blow dry it out. And it also helps everything kind of lay down temporarily as well. So once I was happy with it, voila, okay, y'all get to see all that I did, y'all. Literally, this is braiдлess. Let's talk about it. So many things. I don't even know what to title this because I'm giving you all my secrets, literally. All that I did was pulled my hair back while I was in the shower, put it into a plait. So literally one braid, swooped it around the nape of my neck because I got that little curve shape going, and I put on my wig cap, took some of my True Scalp tape, cut it in half, literally created like a little circular motion. Y'all can even see me kind of like sniffing and doing all the things now, okay? Y'all, the bug has got me. Like, what is it? I know it's a weather change, but anyway. So yeah, I'm deciding not to do the ball cap method because I don't believe in doing all that hairspray. Don't get it twisted. Now, if you see me do it in the future, that's just because I'm really going for it, all right? But for the most part, I am here for the healthy hair. Every now and then, I'll do some things that I know is like, Chrissy, you should not be doing this. So the True Scalp tape prevents me from having to lay down the wig cap. It literally still gives me that scalp look. And because I have a lot of forehead to work with, I'm able to literally pull the cap in front of my hairline so that you never even know that I did not do the ball cap method. Y'all, genius, okay? Then I go ahead and take the foundation brush that I use to do my makeup for this video, and I just literally go inside of the lace, and I'm just gonna swindle that around. Swindle, is that the word? I don't know. I'm just gonna use that to pretty much cover the inside of the lace, so it's gonna give you the effect that it's like a little more tinted, except it's more customized to you. So that's why I was recommending to skip that like tinted mousse situation that so many people have now. If it works for you, awesome, but for the most part, the foundation will do the trick each and every time. So you guys can see I'm just pulling the hair back. And now we're actually going to get into laying this down. Now, if you guys are not new here, y'all know typically I am a glueless girl, but today we are incorporating a little bit of glue. If you want to skip the glue, you can, and absolutely just use like some Pump It Up or the Ebin spray. There's so many options, but I decided to use a little bow hold. Now, I am very cautious when it comes to the hair around my ear because I have had hair literally come out with using the glue. So that is why I pretty much don't use it all together, but I really wanted this to be melted and just to kind of switch it up a little bit, just to do something for the girlies that do actually want to use the glue and wear this long term. So of course I just wait until the glue gets a little tacky. You guys will see it'll be a lot more clear than it is white. Once that happens, go ahead and just pull the cap down. You typically want to try to get the cap or the lace where the hair starts, a little bit in front of that glue. That way, if there are any areas that need to be a little touched up, you'll have the room to do it. What you don't want to happen is for that lace to get stuck on the glue, and then you are forced to keep some of the extra lace on the actual, I guess, like on the install, because it can get a little tricky when you try to remove the glue with the, you know, using alcohol and all these other things. So I actually ran into that problem in my temple area. You guys will see where what I should have done is taking a little bit of glue at a time, maybe just across the front area and then in the temple area and then around the sides, just instead of doing it all at once. But again, hey, I am always here to be your muse so you can learn from my mistakes and some of the things that I, actually went on as well. So in this situation, I did actually take a little bit of glue on the tip of my rat tail comb just to go along any of those spots that needed a little extra love. And then I did go ahead and take a little bit of the Bronner Brothers Pump It Up just to finish everything off. Y'all know I love that stuff. It just helps everything blend in and melt. And for the areas that I really wanted to avoid the glue, closest to like my ear, I actually just used that to lay down those flaps as well. And of course I went back, hit it with the blow dryer because I really hate sticky hair. Now here typically you can go ahead and just melt it down with the elastic band, or you can say, hey girl, I'm ready to style, because I was loving what it was looking like from here. So this is where I decided, I was like, do I want to do a side part? Typically with a side part, I really like to, you know, curve it. I will usually like to do like an L shape. So I was like, okay, we don't really have a lot of room for that. So let me go back to the middle part. So that's what I did. When I made that decision, I'm over here stuttering, y'all, okay. When I made that decision, I did need to go back through with the hot comb. Super easy to do because, of course, that mousse really just acts as like a bonding agent. Like, if you are used to using a wax stick, throw it out. Stop having that super greasy hair, okay. Literally take a little bit of the mousse, even if your hair is already dry. Get that mousse going, hit it with the blow dryer to reset everything. And if you are using the Cream of Nature mousse, I promise you that product buildup will be almost non-existent. It is super easy to work with. Now, I actually ended up going back in with the mousse because I really wanted to reset my hair. Again, if you find that you really need to go through piece by piece with the hot comb, you can do it. But thanks to all the beautiful plucking that we have done, I really wanted to just kind of see our work in action. So I went back in with the mousse to relay everything down, and then of course Mega Look gave us that beautiful elastic band, and I just literally tied everything down, hit it with the blow dryer just to reset everything, to kind of get that shine going, making sure that all the hair is completely dry, there's no lumps, no bumps, nothing, because I wanted to be able to finally trim up the ends of this. And so it was super easy to do. If this was a 13x6 unit, I really think that I would have fallen even more in love because the hair texture was super silky. That's why I'm like, I know that sometimes I will work with those companies that, you know, have the super luxury wigs where they're overly expensive. And I say overly just when I compare it to other units like this. Like, you can still get a beautiful unit, a beautiful wear long term without having to break the bank. So I definitely get it. And that's why I like to do it, you know, videos like this, just to show you how to get it start to finish in case you cannot afford that upfront payment with companies, you know, on the other hand, where they do bleach the knots and all those things. Now, of course, I did go ahead and just trim off the ends, nothing too crazy. It doesn't have to be super uniform, but just close enough. And then of course you guys can see already just some of that scalp, as y'all like to say, okay, peeking through. Now, you guys totally get to decide if you want to wear this bone straight or not. In case you guys are wondering about my hair underneath, I literally made sure that it was as flat as it could get. My hair is not wet or anything, so I did allow it to fully dry overnight. Y'all know I usually film in like 2 days, but by the time you see the video, it is like, it seems to be seamless, all in one. So I did go ahead and just throw some big barrel curls in here. If you guys need a link to the curling rod, it is listed in my Amazon store. And yeah, just because we added those layers, it always is just going to help with that curl. Go ahead and take a little bit of hairspray just to set it. I'm using the Frizz Ease. It's a very light holding spray. And then of course I'm using a wide tooth comb just to literally comb everything out, get everything nice, blend it together. And you know, if you don't know, okay, I have been giving you guys tips and tricks about curls. You can absolutely take a fine tooth comb. These curls would have been even more uniform. Using the wide tooth comb, it's going to kind of separate them a little bit, but still keep that volume. Using a paddle brush, it's going to clump them together, make everything look super smooth. Using a bristle brush, it is definitely going to make everything look a little bit more voluminous. So you get to choose what type of curls you like. We have the base, we have everything nice and flowy. I was in love, y'all, okay? It's giving scalp. So yes, from this point forward, of course, y'all know I like to play with the hair. I want to show you this in different lighting settings. So at some point, I am actually going to go into the bathroom so that you guys can kind of see what it's looking like. But so far, okay, y'all know that I do have a grading rubric, which usually goes over things like the quality, the price, how custom it is, the packaging, and of course, the style. Like, how easy was it to style? I am actually gonna give this unit, I know that it did not come custom, I know that there was not actually a box, but I want to go ahead and give this an 85. Okay, I am gonna give the exact details in my description box, so definitely make sure to check that out so you know exactly why. But obviously I kind of just gave it to you, right? Those are more so the reasons why. Obviously packaging is a big deal to me, but y'all, most importantly, what is that wig doing? All right, when it comes to the way that the actual lace looks, you guys can see, like I said, I still have a little bit of extra lace in some of the temple areas, and then of course near my ears. You guys, I decided not to tack that down with the glue, so we were just relying on that hairspray to do the trick, just to keep us down, locked and loaded. If you are somebody that doesn't really mind having the glue towards, you know, your hairline a little bit closer, feel free to do that. But y'all, okay, we only gonna keep it on the forehead because healthy hair is a thing. I have destroyed my hair so many different times, so when it comes to wearing a wig, I want to make sure that my hair underneath is well protected. Now, you definitely have a few style options when it comes to wearing wigs, so as long as you have those layers there, you have preset it, pre-styled it, you can do a half up, half down. I wouldn't necessarily do like all of the hair up, just because you would have wanted to add like a clip in the back, if you know, or a comb, something to really kind of sit up underneath. You could even sew this baby down. Okay, now that is an option. But yes, mega look, you guys have done it again. Each time that I work with you, I'm always really excited. You guys are really professional, very attentive. You always respond really quickly. And anytime y'all tell me y'all gonna send a wig, okay, I usually get it within 48 hours. So I appreciate that. It's hard out here trying to work with companies that are just on top of it, and you guys have done that time and time again. So of course I'm gonna show you guys what it looks like in another lighting. So I went into the restroom just because I know sometimes with those super bright lights, people are like, girl, I already know, okay, because I have been fooled multiple times. Especially on Instagram, I'm mostly seeing like makeup or lace unit installs, and I'm like, but when I see you in real life, it don't look like that. Okay, so no shade, but a wig is still a wig. Okay, you still won't be able to see a little bit of lace, but in the most in most cases, you just really want everything to look nice, flowy, natural, effortless. And if you decide that you want to bump it up with the baby hairs, you have the flexibility and the option to do it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this extremely long video. I hope you guys didn't mind me talking throughout it, okay, giving you that step by step. I am going to add chapters in here just in case there's a part that you want to go back to, refer a friend. Happy, okay, I am happy to help. I am also ecstatic about the fact that we are at 300K, okay? Hopefully in the next couple days, I'm feeling a lot better so that we can get into it, all right? I love you guys so much. Stay pretty. And of course, I will see you guys in my very next video. Bye, babies.